Alrighty then, it's time for a champion I rarely play, Jungle Graves. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right, that I have very few Jungle Graves videos. Even though I was technically the first person to make a Jungle Graves video after his rework. Remember, that was kind of a really fun thing to do, because his rework was in the PvE, and I decided just as a joke to play it, and realized it was so strong, incredibly strong. And I loved it. However, I didn't really get that many chances to play for three reasons. One, he was mostly picked and banned when he was at his strongest. Two, I kind of suck at marksman. If that Kindred video didn't tip you off at how bad I am at memorizing the range of champions, or, you know, playing super squishy champions, then I don't know what else I can tell you. Although it's kind of funny that in other MOBAs like Dota 2 or Heroes of the Storm, I play pretty strong ranged carries. But the difference is that those games are a lot slower, and you can sort of gauge things better, and League of Legends is more twitchy and, you know, faster. So I guess I can't really memorize the ranges too much, and I also gotta say that I just don't have that much practice because, you know, I jungle. And the third reason is one that some of you might find a little bit weird, because it won't stop me from playing the champions. It will just make me not want to play them, so I'll tend to, you know, skip them. When a champion is blatantly overpowered on release or after a rework or something, I tend not to play those champions because, well, multiple reasons. One, I feel like I won't really learn the champions ins and outs because I'll get away with a lot of things I normally wouldn't get away with. An example is when Echo was released. Tank Echo was something Riot probably did not intend to be a thing. So he was really strong, and I knew I was doing a lot of dumb shit. Especially, I wasn't using his ultimate properly most of the time, yet I got away with it because that kit was super stupid at the time. So I learned him incorrectly, and when he got nerfed down, I realized, man, Echo is a lot harder than I thought, and I learned a lot. I had to try to unlearn a lot of the silly things I did. Same thing with Graves. Initially, I did play him, and I had success, but mixing up the fact that I'm not the best marksman, and he's a very new weird champion, especially with the reload mechanic. Once they toned him down, and I tried playing him again, I had no idea. Right now, I am in the process of trying to pick him up once more, or, you know, giving him a proper chance now that he isn't too weak anymore or average. He's, I think, in a pretty good spot right now, and he is being played more. So it just makes him a lot more interesting to give a try, and I could, you know, learn him a lot better. And that's pretty important for me. You know, having a proper idea of how a champion actually plays rather than being boosted by the fact that a champion is inherently broken at the time. Either way, I love this little scene here. Swain teleports in and I just try to blind him. He flashes for some reason and then just gets immediately blown up because he put himself in a really weird spot. I dodge Sona's stun, blast her in the face. Kane is just like, hey guys, how's it going? He gets silenced and then pinned down to a wall and just annihilated. And then we also kill the other guy. So 4 kills, completely turns the match around and also gets his dragon. It's kind of it was a very odd situation. Swain tried to force that counter gank by teleporting in when he should have just kind of let his teammates die. Maybe only one of them would have died as the other one ran away. But yeah, it was one of those situations where it's like, do I stay or do I go? And then, you know, they all paid for it. There, also I know I missed my ultimate. I didn't even touch the Ash, but, you know, whatever, my teammate got it. And I give a chase to the Sona because no one escapes the Graves. Murica gets everything they want. Anyways, Jungle Graves, it's kind of funny. It's one of my favorite little things to think about or talk about because he's something of a mistake turned right. I do not think Riot wanted to make Graves into a jungler, right? Initially, he only had during his rework, he only had a pure suggested range kit. They intended him to be this kind of, you know, all-in marksman in bottom lane. I will assume something with Taric again. That's what I figured, right? And then it just turns out he was a lot better as a jungler because as a marksman or as a laner, he kind of doesn't do very much. He just kind of loses the lane, right? So he also was reworked at about the time that Kindred was running around. And Kindred was a champion, or is a champion, that was forced to jungle. Like, they gave her, or it, or whatever you want to call it, all the power in the world to jungle was such a blatantly silly kit. And it was not fair and eventually got nerfed down, and she kind of, is in a weird spot right now where she can work in certain situations. She can work really well in certain situations. Then Graves comes out and he's just like, I can do this and, put my own spin on it and be really badass at it and just take your job altogether. So it's just kind of a weird spot for Kindred to be in. Pretty funny for Graves. And then I know Quinn also quasi-jungles, and even Kaiser can sort of do it. So it's just kind of funny how it all started. They did everything because they wanted a marksman jungler, so they made Kindred the marksman jungler, and then everyone else just kind of naturally became it. Anyways, this game is it's kind of funny because the enemy team is seemingly not paying attention to the fact that if they position themselves wrong, I just kind of melt them. I know I totally get that kill steal from my teammates, but hey, these guys are my buddies, and torturing each other and taking kills from each other and calling each other idiots is the best thing you can do to your friends. If you're not calling your friend an insult, then are you truly friends? Either way, at this point I can pretty much melt any camp, and I'm just whenever there's a jungle camp by, melt it, run away, melt it, and melt it, run away, and melt the next one. However, though, even so, I don't think my build was probably correct because I still am not too aware with all the possible builds you can go. I'm just kind of taking whatever I've seen my opponents do. So I didn't realize that Swain was way tankier than I can handle, so that took forever to kill, which resulted in me dying. Thankfully, my teammates are split pushing, or were split pushing until they died. So the enemy team can't really take any objectives by the time I come back, because I'm probably the greatest threat to their lives right now. And the Vayne, probably. Anyways, as I said, the only thing that can cause us to lose at this point is weird disorganization. Also, I do gotta say, mid-Rakan, I've been seeing him way more often, and in a lot of my teams and opponents and teammates, it's really annoying. I mean, as a teammate, it's pretty good because he's good at setting up ganks and surviving and all that shenanigans. But holy crap, as an opponent, it's a very frustrating experience. Anyways, Yasuo goes in, immediately does his anime stuff on me, and I just run away, using absolutely everything. I kind of really do like that, and hate that when it's against me, where Graves is just really hard to kill, and pretty dangerous to kill, because if you run into a wall against him, he annihilates you. Either way, as you can see, every single fight is just kind of a brute force situation now. We all just kind of throw our big guns at them and annihilate them. Pretty sad. Though they kind of lost it because, I mean, this was a draft normal, so it's not the biggest deal. They kind of lost it mostly because they don't have an initiator and any real reliable crowd control. So it just allows champions like me, Graves, and my Vayne to just kind of run around and destroy them. The only way they kind of really win is if we blunder into them like we did in this little fight. We got too aggressive, we put ourselves in a terrible position, and they punished us. But other than that, they just kind of are getting, gunned down in every single second. Still, though, I am curious, especially after this game. This isn't the only Graves game I played, this year at least. I'm curious to play him more because, like I said, I frankly don't know why I've been facing so many Graves, but there must be a reason. And because of that reason, I must learn to play him. Because, right now solo queue, like I mentioned in that Nocturne game, is pretty much about snowballing and carrying rather than anything else. And not, my tank picks haven't been really strong. Only my carry picks have mattered. Or my tanks that can quasi-carry. So I pretty much have to learn to play Graves because every Graves I see is just kind of, whipping my ass. So, yeah. If you guys know why he's being picked again, you're free to tell me in the comments, because if I'm doing something wrong as him, I like to learn and like to know. So, yeah. Hopefully I'll have more Graves videos up in some time, because, again, like I said, I need to learn him, and I want to learn him. And I've always had a thing for him. If you guys don't remember, prior to his rework, he was the marksman of choice that I would play, because I love that kind of boom behavior, just annihilate people. By the way, the enemy team lost. My short bus commandos won. So, hooray for Graves and my friends from Discord. You can join Discord. It's in the link below. Hooray. And if you like this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.